Hello.
Yeah, Venant. Cheers, Wafinyi.
Yes, Kenya Cycling Network, once again we are here and we're going to tell you guys about the basic cycling skills that every cyclist needs to know. Just because you can stand upright in a bike does not mean you know how to ride a bike. In fact, so many beginner cyclists overlook some certain tips, knowledge, skills, things that they need to know about bicycles before they actually go and ride. So we're here to tell you much about them.
Yo. Last time you guys gave us amazing feedback on this channel. And today we are telling you what you need to do just maybe on your first ride when you just hit the road. These are the skills that you all need to learn. Very simple and easy. The first basic skill you need to learn as a cyclist is cornering, basically just taking a corner. This is a very simple technique that most people don't get it right. Whenever you're taking a corner, you're supposed to try and balance your weight so that you don't lean so much on the side of the corner. Assuming we're taking the corner towards my right, you're supposed to balance your weight in such a way that your knee is always bent to the right. Just have that as a rule, that your knee should always be bent on the side of the corner you are taking. And the opposite side, your leg will always be straight. For instance, I'm taking a corner to my left, my knee should always be bent on this side. This is also advantageous in the event you're taking a corner towards the left, your pedal will not hit the ground. It will be at a higher position.
What I like about cornering is the fact that you don't need to stop your bike literally for you to make that turn. It's an art that can be perfected and you can work on it. You can work on this skill in such a way that you don't lose speed. Now, the way you go about it is when you're approaching a corner, especially if it's a sharp corner, you go easy on the front brake and you press on the right brake that deals with the rear tire, slowly to the point where now you feel it's comfortable for you to make that right or left turn. One thing you have to learn is how to brake your bike and to brake your bike properly. I'm talking about braking your bike safely so that you don't catapult over the bars. So what do I mean? Start with the brakes. The left brake handles the front wheel, the right brake handles the back wheel, and there's an art to stopping this bike while you're cycling on high speeds. So personally, I start with gradually pressing the right brake on the right hand side. This one slows down the bicycle through the back wheel. And then when I want to fully stop the bike, I use the front brake on the left side. With this one now, literally stops the bike. A more advanced way that other cyclists do is to evenly press on both, but gradually up until a point where the bike safely stops. So that's what we mean when you talk about brakes. So braking is very important.
Off saddle is where you just stand upright on your bicycle and take control over the bike. This is very important in the event that maybe you are going through the rubble strips, the small bumps, and whenever you want to accelerate, maybe you want to take over a very short hill, you will need to at least get off saddle and push on all the energy to the pedals. And the other reason will be just to relieve your muscles. Whenever you have cycled for a very long distance and you want to just take some rest and relieve your under muscles, you can also go off saddle. This is one of the techniques that is very important. Just basically when you start cycling, it will help a great deal.
What I like about off saddling is you don't really have to be in a hill for you to get off the saddle. You can use it while overtaking fellow cyclists and cars. You can use it in a race where power is really needed to finish number one. You can use it now in a hill scenario, or you can use it in a situation where, like for me, whenever I have a slow puncture on the back wheel, I usually get off the saddle to balance my weight on the bike and to spread my weight evenly on the front wheel. So one skill that is pertinent to us cyclists, it's the art of gears and shifting gears and gear ratios. I'm going to talk all about them. So we start with the gears. So on the handlebar, whether it's a flat straight for the mountain bike or a drop down for a road bike, we have what we call gears. Now in this case scenario, the gears are here, aka shifters, and the way you shift gears is by pressing until you hear a click sound. That is to shift from the lower chain ring to the highest chain ring, depending on the scenario or what is needed from that hill or a flat surface. And then we talk about the right shifters. This one handles the softer chain rings on the back, and this one is very important, especially when we'll be talking about climbing uphill. Gear ratio, on the other hand, it's a combination of the front and the back gears combining to create a perfect cadence for the cyclist in the scenario where power is needed or in a scenario where endurance is needed. So if I'm racing or I want to overtake a certain car and the cadence that I have does not allow me to do it, I solve that by shifting the gears in such a way that I'll exert enough power to overtake the obstacle that lies ahead. In this case, a car or a race. So the rule of thumb when it comes to cycling is to shift the gears prior to the scenario where it's actually needed. So if I am approaching this hill, before I actually start ascending the hill, I make sure I have the correct gear ratio.
The other skill you need to learn is riding with one hand. This is also one of the basic skills that will help you do a lot of things. For instance, you want to signal the other rider or you want to signal a car, you'll need to maybe lift up your hand. Or whenever you want maybe to grab something from your back pocket. Whenever you also need maybe to refuel while you're still cycling, you'll be able to maybe remove your fuel and just refuel as you cycle. Maybe drink water, rehydrate. So it's also important for you to know how to balance. Whenever you want to use one hand, the first thing is just make sure your bike is stable and your weight is balanced through the bike. How do you do this? Just by feeling relaxed, sitting on the saddle, and also checking the traffic behind you and in front of you. Then you can always refuel or signal a rider or any other thing.
Fueling is a very critical skill that you need practice and practice and practice so that you avoid falling down. And before you apply this skill on the road, make sure your hands are flexible for you to pick anything on the back or on the bike. And you do this by practicing at an empty road, parking lot, or even your own estate.
whenever you want to cycle, you need also to start by fueling your body. This can also be taken as a skill, because these are the things you need to learn. So just before you take on that circuit, you just need to make sure your body is well fueled. That is by eating maybe good food and just having energy within your body, because you will be burning this as you cycle through.